the reason why he recalled anyways is because he was like, okay, I know Jin is probably gonna push. I know that I'm gonna lose like 3, 4, 5 minutes in this process of pushing, but he knew and he saw that the wave was actually a cannon. Yes, it was a cannon, so he knows that anyways he can just recall. If it was not a cannon wave, he'd consider stayed. So when you're recalling like this and you know you're gonna lose the wave, it will depend on how much gold you have. And if it's a cannon, you can always recall immediately. If it's not a cannon, then you can just stay. But at the same time, if you have a huge amount of gold and if you have Kraken Slayer in base or Yomu, again, we're talking about recalling when losing and when enemy can push the wave and make you lose. We're not talking that every time when you recall, you need to recall on a cannon wave. So recalling on a cannon is usually good if you're in a losing position and you want to recall because of the fact that the enemy AD carry pushes the wave. That's what recalling on a cannon means. Hi guys, how are you doing? Besides here, and in today's video we're gonna analyze 1.2k LP peak challenger Dealerz, one of the best, if not the best Draven that exists. And I know that you're actually thinking about Tyler 1 right now, but I mean in Europe, this guy is absolutely a phenomenal player. He was a challenger player multiple seasons as far as I'm concerned, and he was playing from season 4. He got challenger. I think his highest rank was rank 25. He's an incredible player, and in SoloQ he is amazing. Yes, some people could say, okay, but he's just playing only Draven. This guy is very good. He's one of the best, if not the best Draven player. We're gonna see his gameplay. We're gonna see and try to analyze what he's doing, how he's thinking about the game, and really how he actually sees the game. So let's take a look. So let's take a look first of all at the matchup that he's playing. So he actually plays with Soraka. So usually Draven Soraka is pretty OP because you can go in very aggressive, and Soraka, especially after Moonstone, she's gonna be extremely strong. It's against Jin Janna, so this guy actually decides to not leash because obviously if Jin pushes you, you're gonna be in trouble. He's actually gonna try to push pretty hard. He's trying to actually position himself with Soraka. In my opinion, I think that he should have tried to kite towards Soraka from the beginning. So clicking on the left here is kind of bad because he doesn't really have to access. And right now Soraka is moving in. We know that Soraka against Janna is a very easy matchup, so she always wants to trade here. So personally, I think he should stay a little bit closer to the Soraka. Even though he couldn't trade, just hovering Soraka from closer like this is better in my opinion. Now he has 2 axes, so it's gonna be pretty fun. He's like walking up. He can take trades very easy against Jin unless he has his 4-shot, and we don't talk about that, but if he has his 4-shot, it's gonna be pretty hard. Soraka is actually taking some trades here, but realistically speaking, if Draven gets his prio, and which she's doing right now, Soraka, all what she has to do is to hit her Q. If she hits her Q, she gets multiple like healing. He goes for W level 2. Some people actually prefer to go for E level 2 on Draven against Alistar and stuff like that, but we're talking about the Janna, we're talking about the Jin. Now he's just slow pushing, and actually remember what he's doing right now. He's just slow pushing. Another player will try to hit the minions too fast or do something crazy. What he's doing right now is just last hitting this minion. There's absolutely no reason for him to just push this. There's absolutely no reason for him to auto attack the minions in a faster manner, because the more he keeps the wave here, the more he can zone Jin. And if Soraka wants to actually do something crazy, she can. We can also see that he's taking the minions when they're like extremely low HP. He doesn't take the minions when they have like 70 HP while he's doing 70 damage per auto attack. No, he's waiting until like the very last second, almost the very last second to last hit. So now let's see what he's gonna do. He has 2 options: either crush the wave and keep pushing, or just go for the ward. So now obviously he wants to go for the ward because he's actually fake warding. Do you guys see what he did, guys? So he's fake warding. What does fake ward? Well, what is fake ward? What is fake ward? Fake ward is like, now if I'm Jin and this is like high elo, like Jin knows that Draven is a competent player, and if he goes Fog of War, where else could he go other than just warding, you know? So now Draven is intentionally not using his ward. And the reason why he's not using his word is very simple. Is because first of all he plays against Kha'Zix. Second of all he has Janna as support, so he doesn't need to waste his word. He just makes the enemy think that they warded, so he's probably not gonna get yanked. Realistically speaking, on this wave he can easily 2v3. He's gonna look to push the wave. Very simple. And now the wave is in a pretty uncomfortable position. The thing is, he's not really too worried about keeping the wave here. The reason being is that if Kha'Zix comes now with heal and with the exhaust of Soraka, it's easily 2v3able, especially because the Elise is close proximity, and Kha'Zix knows that Elise is close proximity, so he won't go for a gank on bot lane because that's a blind gank. A blind gank is when you don't know where the enemy jungle is. So if you're jungle and you gank bot now and you don't know where is Elise, Elise could just stay into the brush, or she can immediately go hover. So Dealer knows this. Dealer knows jungle. I'm sure he played jungle and I'm sure he knows this. So now he's pretty fine just pushing. He doesn't really care about the enemy jungle much. I personally think he should have gone 2 points in Q here, not E, but maybe he's thinking that he can just cancel the Kha'Zix jump, which is a thing, you know, it is a thing for sure.
Are you an AD carry main struggling to make an impact in your games? Is your damage output disappointingly low, leaving you feeling frustrated and powerless in the role you love? Introducing our specialized coaching program designed to supercharge your AD carry performance. Imagine a world where your damage, decision making and farming skills are 10 times better and the outcome of your games is no longer left to chance. Meet Chase, just like you, he was once stuck in the same position, facing low damage and inconsistency in his games. Let's see what happened after his coaching experience, from Diamond 4 to Master Tier. Wow! And here is Jordan and Brett, both transformed into formidable AD carry after the coaching session. These success stories aren't just isolated cases, they are a part of a community of over 3,243 players who benefited from the coaching program. If it worked for them, why not for you? Picture yourself as an unstoppable AD carry. It's not a dream, it's your potential with the coaching session. Don't wait any longer, visit Visite.com, book your coaching and become the AD carry the enemy team hates to play against.
So now wave is coming into him, he doesn't actually push it anymore, because again in this specific case he wants to just look to build a slow push into him. He's gonna be safer like that, and if Janna wants to walk up on Soraka, they are pretty safe. So Dealer is trying to keep the wave inside him. Obviously, while he's having 2 axes, he wants to trade, but he doesn't want to overextend trading because this is with Soraka lane, so he needs to play more around the Soraka Q. One thing that I love again about this guy is that he's so patient and he's so like satisfying to watch him. Now he's just gonna push because the enemy AD carry is just, she went in fog of war for like 5-6 seconds. Now he's just pushing. You guys can see that he actually pinged Soraka. The reason why he pinged Soraka is because this is like what, Masters, Grandmasters rank. I say master because it's master now, but if you look at the players that are master now, they're probably grandmaster last season, so that's why I say master, grandmaster. So I think why he pinged is that because he wanted Soraka to walk up and he scored the wave, and he wanted Soraka to stay here to tank like 2 tower shots to pull these minions to the left, so then these minions can go in the tower. Someone obvious could say, oh coach, but the wave wouldn't go into the tower anyways, right? Because Soraka would just tank 2 tower attacks. Yes, true. Not the whole wave is gonna go in the tower, but what Dealer wants to do here, if those 3 minions go into the tower, the wave is pretty good. So we know that Jhin needs 4 minions to freeze, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minions. So if those 3 minions are actually going in the tower and the tower kills it, they only have 3 minions to freeze, and a freeze with 3 minions is not realistic. It's very, very hard to maintain it there. It's not really a freeze, you need 4 minions. Janna is top lane, he's gonna push, he's gonna recall. I like that he's recalling in the 3rd brush. The reason why he recalled in the 3rd brush is because most of the cases in the 1st and the 2nd brush, the challenger AD carries, grandmaster AD carries, even masters in some cases, they stop your recall, they think about where are you gonna recall, and I think Dealer is gonna probably stay here. I don't think he's gonna recall anymore. I think the Jhin is gonna push very fast. The reason why he recalled anyways is because he was like, okay, I know Jhin is probably gonna push. I know that I'm gonna lose like 3, 4, 5 minutes in this process of pushing, but he knew and he saw that the wave was actually a cannon. So now the cannon died. So was it a cannon? Yes, it was a cannon. So he knows that anyways, he can just recall. If it was not a cannon wave, then he would have recalled. He would have stayed, sorry, he would have considered stayed. So when you're recalling like this and you know you're gonna lose the wave, it will depend on how much gold you have. And if it's a cannon, you can always recall immediately. If it's not a cannon, then you can just stay. But at the same time, if you have a huge amount of gold and if you have Kraken Slayer in base or Yomus, or you can anyways recall even if it's not a cannon wave. Again, we're talking about recalling when losing and when enemy can push the wave and make you lose. We're not talking that every time when you recall, you need to recall on a cannon wave. Of course, you don't need to recall on a cannon wave. It's ideal to do that, but many cases it's very unrealistic, and many cases you're not going to be able to do that. So recalling on a cannon is usually good if you're in a losing position and you want to recall and you're concerned about losing a lot of minions because of the fact that the enemy AD carry pushes the wave. That's what recalling on a cannon means. It doesn't mean that every time when you recall after you push or anything, you want to recall on a cannon. It's very unrealistic that you're going to do that. So one thing I love about Dealer is he's extremely patient, and I repeat that, and he's very nice. Like most of the Draven players, you look at their KDA, they have like 8 deaths per game, they are mental boom, they jump, they like scream, they like... No, this guy is actually pretty... He's patient, you know. He might tilt sometimes, but he is patient. He's pinging, he's patient. He has 2 X's right here, has the heal. He's not really scared about going in the fight. With Draven, I personally think that especially with Dirk, he has a huge power spike. So this Jhin right here, he tried to walk up, he tried to do something. But obviously when you have 2 X's on Jhin, I personally think that you can basically contest most of the fights. Now we see that Draven is still like asking them, please stay, please stay, please stay, please stay with Elise. But I don't know if Elise should actually stay here. I think she should have just recalled. But now actually Jhin has no flash, so she stays. Yeah, this is a coin flip. I think the dealer baited Elise. I personally feel like if this is a challenger game and they fight like this, Elise spent so much on bot lane. He got the flash on the Jhin. So now she shouldn't really re-gank. She shouldn't really re-gank at all. Because it's like a very high chance that he's gonna get counter gank. It's a pretty high chance that you don't kill them anyways. Because I think they still have exhaust and they still have heal. And even if you kill Jhin, you have to commit so many resources to kill him, and then you're gonna get killed by the enemy jungle. So this is a little bit too risky in my opinion. It's too coin flip. Is he gonna stay and ulti the wave? I like the word there, so he makes sure he doesn't get dove. Personally, I think that Soraka shouldn't recall here ever. She is low HP, but I think if Draven wants to stay here and Soraka stays into the brush, if he's getting dove, all what Soraka can do is going towards the Draven, heal him one time, because it's gonna be like 200 heal, and then she backs off immediately. She probably has barrier as well. So I personally think that Soraka should have stayed because of the fact that Draven stays here. To most likely is gonna look to either ulti the wave or just stay for the cannon XP. Yeah, I think that if they were smart enough, they could theoretically dive. So I think if this is like a super high elo game, maybe GM or Challenger, Soraka will consider staying there because of the fact that Draven was staying. But again, I'm not saying staying with Draven, no, I'm saying staying 10 meters away from Draven. So if Draven is, for example, as we can see here, Soraka should stay here super far away, so she makes sure for sure that she's not gonna recall. So he's 0-0-0 with Draven, 80 farm in 10 minutes. Guess what? This champion is so broken that you can also outscale them. Some people will say that no bro, but Draven doesn't outscale Jhin, especially because Jhin is on steroids with Janna. But the thing is, Draven is also on steroids with Soraka. So really lovely here. He has 2 X's. He's just going in auto, globally auto. And we see what he's doing right now. He's ulting and he knows that they have heal. They might have exhaust and they might have Janna ult. So he just flashes in, right? Another player will say, why did he flash, man? He could have killed them anyways, right? He could just walk up and auto that. True. It's always good to like conserve the flash. Like now he can just walk up. But if Janna has shield in like 2 seconds and ulti, if you just flash instantly now, you try to kill him as fast as possible, Janna won't have the reaction timing to ulti. And now he's guiding really on the left like this. He will tank a little bit of the tower. And this is easy peasy. He will push the wave, he will recall. Kha'Zix is mid lane, Elise is really invading in the jungle. So if he wants to go for a plate, he could. But the reason why he doesn't go for a plate is because, as we can see here, the Jhin has Yomus. So even though the plate could be low and he could take a plate, the problem is that he's not going to recall. In a super high elo, if you're going to try to greed for a plate or greed for, oh, let me get one more wave, let me get one more plate, let me get the plate and the wave, let me get 2 plates, you're going to try to recall, but they are going to stop your recall. So this is why you got to be very clean at like understanding when exactly you have to stay for a plate and when exactly you have to back off, being like, hey, do I want to get 2 plates? Do I want to get 1 plate and not recall? Or do I just want to get none but I recall? So let's see what he's going to do right here. So he is super strong. Super strong. So he's not really too scared to actually fight this. Soraka has ulti, so I'm pretty sure he's actually thinking about these things. So now he is going on the Jhin here. Auto-attacks him, he clicks on the right so it gets away of the Janna. Tries to go on the Janna a little bit because you see guys what he did. He knows that Janna is gonna shield the Jhin here, and he also knows that Janna is squishier, so there is no reason to go on the Jhin, especially because he procced the ghost, right? So he just swaps the target on the Janna. Janna is trying to go in super aggressive, and then right here she heals very early because she knows that Soraka might come here. Maybe they have some ignite, and now easy peasy. He tries to steal the kills as well. Just because of course on Draven you kind of need to get the kills. He didn't really have many stacks, I also like that he's staying on the left hand side here. Personally, I think this is a perfect positioning. If Soraka tries to fight there, you immediately move, but still it doesn't really matter here because Kha'Zix was probably on top side. He ults the wave here and he just tries. He's so confident. He doesn't even care though. Oh my god, this is so nice to watch. Look at this. This is so nice to watch. So he pushes this. He sees Kha'Zix, he's pinging 2 times, and the moment he sees Soraka is on her way, he's just staying for the farm. He sees that he's getting level 9 in a bit, so his level 9 is gonna mean more mana and a bit more HP, so he's ready for that. He goes on the Kha'Zix, and right here he's probably just gonna stay close to the minions, so the Kha'Zix doesn't really have too much, like too good of a passive. Here he dodges literally everything, and now let's see if the TP is gonna kill him. He's gonna actually run into them just because he wants to do as much damage as humanly possible, and he actually walked up to the Yasuo just in case he has the wind wall. He wanted to use it. Well, he wanted to use Yasuo wind wall, but Yasuo was too busy to like just go on them. Honestly, this is what I call good deaths, right? Because you guys might wonder, like you guys might see, okay, this guy is like, you know, having so many deaths. You look at one OPGG and you see that they have a lot of deaths, and some players are also having lots of deaths, but they are high elo. It's because they die, but they die in a good. It's weird to say they die in a good way, but they die. They don't just have stupid deaths. They have deaths that kind of make sense, if that makes sense. So now he wants to push mid, but obviously if they are doing Drake, he just moves through mid and he goes there. Super good decision making as an AD carry, especially after an item and a half. Now he has 2 items, but especially after an item and a half, you get bot tower, you group mid. That's a very simple rule. Sometimes, you know, your mid lane and won't agree, but in this case they agree, so you need to be active on the map. So you need to stay with your teammates when they do Drake like this, and also if Soraka tries to get vision or tries to do something, you don't need to stay like a bot in the middle of the lane here or here. You need to like hover. So now Soraka is getting a bit of vision, he's immediately looking to hover, he's immediately looking to stay with Soraka. If Soraka goes for deeper, then Draven hovers her. Okay, he doesn't hover her from ahead, he doesn't hover her confidently, but he hovers her from behind, so if someone is going to be over the wall, he's there. So let's see a lot of the players, they just AFK in the middle of the lane, they just wait the wave to come into them. That's kind of funny. It's like, okay, but what are you doing? Like, do something in between, like this time that you're actually wasting sitting on mid lane and waiting the wave to come into you, you can actually use it to actually hover your teammates. So this game we learn a lot about patience. The wave management is pretty good. He tried to push as much as possible in the beginning, but then when he didn't know what is the jungle, he just let the wave to come into him. We saw how confident he was, but also he was very patient. So we learned how to actually make the balance between playing aggressive and playing defensive. Also, we learned the fake word. Super good technique. He was actually taking a lot of responsibility on the laning phase. He was pinging a lot, so I really love that as well. So honestly, awesome gameplay. He played really well around his limits. He wasn't too greedy. Look at his positioning. Look at his positioning, guys. So he's moving in, he's following, but he's not really too forward, right? He knows Kha'Zix can jump, so he's just backing off. He doesn't approach that. Jhin has ulti, so he's very patient. The Janna Q is done. He's playing around the Soraka, so if they jump on Soraka, he's there. Ults on the Jhin here, and then try to do as much damage as possible. Honestly, amazing. Honestly amazing. And now again, as we can see, he wanted to get the farm on mid lane, but since he wanted to get the farm on mid lane, but Soraka was about to face check, he's actually hovering Soraka, which is something that I don't see much. I see a lot of AD carries, they're like, oh, I need farm. Well, true, you need farm, but if you have a lot of items, like 1.5 or 2 items, 3 items, the deeper you go in the game, the later the game is, the more items you have, the less useful the farm becomes. I'm not saying the farm is useless, but I'm saying that sometimes staying with your teammates and hovering is better. This was the game. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments if you like this kind of videos with pro players. Maybe I'll do more in the future, most probably because I enjoy doing them a lot. Thanks so much for watching.
$5. If you have problems improving and getting better in the game faster, but you cannot afford booking coaching, on my Patreon you can access more than 627 VOD reviews, premium videos about how to wave management, mid-game macro, and tier lists that will show you the best champions to climb and to improve for your elo. And these are not on YouTube, this is only on Patreon, they're exclusive. Moreover, you can participate in the free coaching waiting list to get a premium VOD review. I'm giving away 2 free VOD reviews every single week. All what you need need to do is simple 2-step process. Subscribe to my Patreon and share your OPGG, and voila, you are on the waiting list. You're gonna get a personalized VOD review for any game in your match history. For just $5, you get not only the free VOD review, but a whole bunch of exclusive benefits that will supercharge your gaming experience. It's a small investment for a big return. And it's just $5, it's no brainer, right? But here is the deal, you've got to act quickly. The waiting list is already filling up fast. 55 people already subscribed to the Patreon, and there are 6 people that they already are on board, they are on the waiting list. And more are joining every moment. Now, do you want to secure your spot for a free VOD review? Go ahead on my Patreon and reserve it right now.